Hello, everybody! Thank you for tuning into Realm Alternis, and you are watching Power Rangers Centurion, your favorite live stream happening every other Wednesday with a Power Rangers vibe. I'm John McDonald, the GM for this game, and if you recognize my voice, that's because I'm usually the GM slash Zordon for Power Rangers stuff here at Realm Alternis, including in the Alternia archives, where currently they're playing Deadlands, but you can scroll back and find the Becoming Mighty and Morphin podcast, which is year one of a 4-year podcast Power Rangers series that is in the same universe as Power Rangers Centurion, but is not live, except for when it might be. You can also see me most Sunday evenings on Like Clockwork, and occasionally I pop up in one-shots like Gen Con TV's Team Badger from a couple of weeks back. It is a party here at Realm Alternis, and anyone who believes in storytelling with respect and consent are totally invited to join us in our Discord and just come and hang out. If you're a GM with an idea for a show, or even if you're a player that hasn't GM'd but would like to give it a shot, please feel free to come on in. We're a community here invested in trying things out and being super cool. And if they let me GM, they'll let anybody GM. Waka waka. Rangers, we're going to go around the table and you can introduce yourselves while you settle in, and you're going to see what Ivan Ooze has in store for you in the break room of Doom at the TV station where we left off. As we do introductions, please go ahead and roll me initiative. Currently, Alex slash Ace is having some internet issues, but they will be here eventually. And we're going to be very excited for having the whole crew together. Let's start with everyone's favorite Pink Ranger, Felix. Hello, Felix.
Hey, hi, hello. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Twitch stream. My name is John Blair. I'm playing Felix Boucheron. You can find me on Power Rangers Becoming Mighty and Morphin as Brick Kerrigan. You can also find me soon enough as Brick Kerrigan in the Sentinels of Senior Year follow-up series to that podcast. I am here, and I am pink, and I do not stink, I hope. I don't know.
It's true. And what was your initiative roll?
Oh, geez. My initiative is 3.
Well, you do get a story point to start off the episode with, so you could use that story point to re-roll because you got a skill of 1, or you could keep that 3 and take your chances.
Why not? Why not?
Wait, we're going into combat. This is my chance to kind of interrupt that and say, well, we're getting ready we know we're going into a fight. And you didn't start with me. So I'd like to say I do have, follow me if people want to contribute.
Yes, but not everyone has to follow you. It's does. True. So you could decide to keep that 15, or you could go back to the 3 and choose the follow me, and that would give the Red Ranger a boost. What would you like to do?
I think I'll keep this 15.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not sure if everybody remembers I have that ability, which is why I brought it up.
It's one of those things where I kind of let all the Rangers keep abreast of their own abilities because I can't remember them all. But yeah, follow me is a great mechanic for people that like to do kind of a traditional Red Ranger, more of a leader in the moment sort of thing. Let's have you go next. Link, we'll have you go second.
Okay. Before I actually roll my initiative, I do want to extend the offer because that does add to my initiative roll for anybody who wants to. But yeah. I'm Grim. Okay, that's great. So at least one person. I'm Grim. You can catch me here on every other Wednesday and every other Friday for Centurion Ridge and Will of the Worlds. Every Tuesday you can catch me on Luke's G Variety. This week, we happen to have also played Power Rangers. Next week is Modifius's Fallout 2D20, in which I am playing Lucky, the Vault Dweller, who is, in fact, in my opinion, the luckiest man in the wasteland. We'll see whether or not that continues. But so far, he hasn't gotten killed, and that's worth it. Other than that, that's pretty much anything for me. I want to ask one last time before I actually roll if the Yellow Ranger is also going to contribute or roll separately.
Okay, so your Yellow Ranger is barely holding on by a thread, so I'm not even sure what I would be agreeing to at this point.
Okay, so if you choose to do the follow me, I get a +2 to my initiative roll for each person. Sorry, I get a +1 to my initiative roll for each person who chooses to follow me.
Like
then instead of rolling,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what I would do is, if right now the Blue Ranger's following me, so I roll my normal initiative and then add 1. That determines my initiative. Then when Jules rolls her initiative, she rolls a d4 and subtracts that from my number, and that determines her initiative. So the more people who actually who choose to follow me, my initiative goes higher, which means yours by extension also is higher. I'd like to point out that the Red Ranger does also have edge in initiative.
Just fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so that means I will roll +2.
Sweet.
I've learned long ago not to just agree to something and clarify what it is I'm agreeing to, especially
That's
when bad.
That's smart, because you never know when Ivan Ooze is going to be like, and sell me your soul, or leave a jar of purple ooze on your kitchen counter. Yeah. Always read the terms and conditions.
So, because it doesn't give me the option to add the +2, my initiative is a 17.
Yay. All right. Let's have... Actually, I'm going to do mine while I'm here. Let's have Jules go next, since they agreed to do the follow me thingy. Hello, Jules.
Hello. I am Isbeth. I am here all of the time. I'm here every Sunday with Panabon for like clockwork. I am here every other Wednesday for Power Rangers Centurion, and I am here every other Friday for Well of the Worlds. You can also find me on the Alternis archives with Rick Kerrigan as the Red Ranger, Jane Russell. And yeah, so what do I do? I roll a d4 and subtract it from 17?
Correct.
Okay. Alright, so
17 minus 4 is 13.
Alright, so that is my initiative.
Indeedy-do. Alright. And then, of course, you have the fabulous Leigh Mackenzie. Hello, welcome.
Hello. I'm Katie. Sorry. Dungeon Mistress Katie and all the things. I play Leigh Mackenzie here every other Wednesday. On Tuesdays, I'm over on D and Denial as... they're not related, but I just realized that I play Clara Mackenzie over there. No relation at all to the human that I played today, because she's an orc. But, yeah. And we'll see how this goes tonight, with me trying to battle things today.
Yes.
And my initiative would be... Blah, 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 blah,
Just
blah,
roll a d4.
Well, why didn't it do the thing? Silly.
I heard the thing, it just didn't do the thing. It's a mystery.
Alright, so I rolled a d4, which rolled a 4.
Alright.
Hang on, because there was still...
Okay.
There we go. 21.
Alright. I'm going to put, because you're doing the follow me, I'm going to put you right before Jules, because Jules offered to have you go first. That's perfectly fine with me. I think that should be everyone for now, as we're waiting for technical issues. But yeah. Okay, so thank you everyone for rocketing through those introductions, and for everyone who is watching out there live, welcome, hello! you can be involved in the world of Centurion Ridge as well, and not just view it. You can become a member of the Ridge Ranger Ally Club. Say that five times fast if you can. If you follow the Rem Alternis Twitch channel, which you are watching if you're watching live, you can gift an extra story point to the ranger of your choice just by following along. You can also give bits for things like Ernie Coppers, Alpha Silvers, or Rad Bug Golds. The Rad Bug Gold is a 500 bit, and that gives any ranger access to the Small Town Roots perk and allows them to ask a GM a question where the GM can give them an answer to help solve a choice between two things. If you already have the Small Town Roots perk, it gives you a temporary edge to use whenever this ranger wishes to. As well, for those who choose to subscribe to the Rem Alternis Twitch, a Morphin Master Point will be awarded to the ranger of their choice, and the ranger has 3 options for use of that. It is very powerful, just like you are, for being here and joining us in Centurion Ridge. Now, as our fellow rangers in Angel Grove like to say, it's time to get more phenomenal. All right, so we begin where we left off. You are in the TV station, Centurion Ridge Action News, for those interested. You were able to save telecommunications and free the satellite, which allows Alpha to talk with you, and Alpha talked you through helping the people out of the room, out of those different offices that were closed-doored. And you got them away from whatever Ivan Ooze is doing here at the TV station, sending subliminal messages, making people's eyes go all black and goopy. It's very 90s. And so you went down a set of stairs and you found yourself in a break room. And it was an empty break room. It looked like a regular break room. But it quickly, as you entered, you heard a laugh. And you saw some lights as you saw the vendor monster. It did not look like this morning. But this is the vendor monster. It has been clearly transformed by Ooze, and it chuckles and says, "Thirsty?" And it actually has the highest initiative, so it is actually going to attempt to target Link with a cold root beer drink. It's just going to come spitting out of its mouth.
Wasting soda.
Do you have a picture that I can show?
I do. It's currently on the. Can you see the vendor monster?
I can.
I cannot. Hold on.
I had to click on the vendor monster
got it.
thing.
Okay. Got it. Sorry. Did not mean to interrupt. Continue.
No, that's okay. I'm just clicking things.
Whoops. That is not what I meant to do. I got it. Yep. There it is.
All right. That was a 15. Is that higher than your toughness?
I believe it matches my toughness.
Okay.
I'm looking it up because I don't remember. Yeah, it matches my toughness.
It matches your toughness. I'm going to say in cases of matching, it's going to go to the person on offense. Because I can't remember what the book says. I don't know if the book clarifies. But you're not going to take a ton of damage. It's like a half point of damage, but you just get like, bam! Cold root beer just like right across like the chest. and then the vendor monster laughs at you. Feebly. Vendor smash. Link, it is your turn.
I told you to stop wasting soda. Yeah, and then he's just gonna like try to drop kick the monster. It's shaking up the sodas and everything, but
by the way, any sodas that it exudes, you can feel free to keep. They are free. Yeah, go ahead. The toughness for the vendor monster is 18.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with what happened to me last session and miss every single attack. I guarantee it.
I mean, you never know. He is stable. He is like plugged into a wall.
Oh look, I got a 13. I missed.
You're 13. Well, you connected. You just didn't do any like damage unless you like. Let's say you like nicked it and then just like went toward the side of the wall, which yeah.
There was that whole like close up of the power of him doing like the whole like leaping kick, and then you watch him glance off the metal frame and slam into the wall. Ow!
But you're trying, and that's the important thing. Felix, there is a monstrous vending machine laughing at you in this break room of doom.
Let's pop this can. I'm going to
please take a story point for let's pop this can, because I feel people should enjoy their puns.
Thanks. I am going to I'm going to spend a personal PowerPoint to use my volley shot to shoot at this monster with my fancy schmancy targeting.
Fabulous. They have a toughness of 18.
Jeez. Damn. 17.
17. You came very close. Because that was so close, would anyone like to try to lend assistance since you're all within 60 feet? And I'll let you try to roll that with an edge.
Jules will.
There we go.
Thank you, Jules.
Give that a try.
Let's try that one more time.
I believe in you.
I am going to, with an edge, we get a 19.
It's a 19. Yay! You hit the vendor monster. Were you aiming for any particular part of the monster?
You know, let's take a look at his little pick. Pick of the vendor monster. Maybe like maybe like his face area, like this top where his eyes are. Or maybe I should aim for like the side where the drink buttons are. Maybe I'll get a free drink out of this.
Oh, you're going to get plenty of free drinks. But yes, feel free to aim for the eyeball.
I would love to do that.
Great. All right. And then we're going to have Leia. It is your turn. If you would like to do some destruction to the vendor monster.
I would like to kick it in its face.
Feel free to kick it in its face.
That'd be a might.
That would be a might, yes.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm still bad at kicking.
You actually like run over the root beer can that got shot at Link earlier on your way.
Sounds right.
It happens, but it was very graceful. Jules, what would you like to do? Would you like to try to shoot Felix?
Please don't.
I always kind of want to shoot Felix.
Why does everybody hate me? I'm a very lovable person.
I don't.
There,
You were the only one who took brownies.
You know,
Thank you.
they're love bullets. It's fine.
It's early in the morning.
I am going to try to stab it with my blade blaster.
Great. Please give me that finesse roll as you stab.
Okay. I got a 12.
You got a 12. That does not beat its toughness. But you didn't hit Felix, so
There's
that is
that.
exciting. Yes. Okay, I think we have Alex. Are you here? Are you able to speak? In your
I think so.
tones? Yay! You're
Okay.
here. Hello.
Because it wasn't working 30 seconds ago. So
Okay, but you were here now. Would you like to have a round and then roll initiative so that we can put you into the initiative order?
that's fine.
And you can try to hit, kick, or do anything you wish for destroying the vendor monster in the break room of doom. If you are speaking, I cannot hear you.
Oh no, I thought I was going to wait till the end of the round to do it. That's
It is the end of the round. Everyone,
Okay.
everyone is gone. So yes, you are most welcome
Well,
to
here's
attempt
my-
whatever you wish. All right.
There's my initiative. So, so it's a vending machine monster.
It is a vending machine monster. It wants to eat you and throw tasty, delicious cold beverages at your face.
So I guess trying to distract it by throwing pocket change at it is out of the question.
You don't have any pockets in your morphed. I guess you could try to go into the morphing void and see if you have any coins, but
You should throw your Furby at it.
Oh, where's the Furby?
you're still carrying it. You're still baby Bjorning.
No, I mean my real Furby.
Oh,
I don't know where it went.
Can't lose that Furby. It's now important and crucial to the mission. I've added it into a thing somewhere down the road. So
I will just, if there's room, go up and punch it.
there is room. Please give me that might roll and punch the vending machine.
Furby doesn't have a character sheet, so I don't know if I can accept it as a true.
It doesn't have a character sheet yet. Don't worry about it.
15.
A 15. You punch it, but you punch that part of it that's like when someone tries to smack the machine, it doesn't do like anything like it has like a little give. It just basically laughs at you, and it is going to attempt, now that we are at the top of the round, to hit you. Actually, it's going to attempt to eat your hand.
Well, I'm going to scream, give me what I wanted, that I paid for, like I do at work, and start punching the plastic.
I appreciate that. What is your toughness?
What did you roll? And I'll tell you. Oh, never mind.
So the monster got a 24.
Let's just say if this were Pathfinder 2, you critically hit me.
Great. So now the Black Ranger's hand is stuck in the jaws of the monster. So there's that, everyone. That definitely has happened, which is fine. Link, your friend is stuck in the monster.
Okay, now that I am next to the monster, can I see where it's plugged in?
Yes.
Can I unplug it?
Give me that might roll as a grapple check.
Am I still looking for an 18?
No. I will let you know what it is once you've rolled.
Don't worry,
Okay.
I've got him right where I want him.
It's true.
I'm sure.
Everything
I got
is
him
fine.
distracted. You do something.
Oh, look, I got an 18
You got an 18.
with
You
a critical success.
That is a critical success, so good job. You unplugged the vendor monster, but it does not shut off. Even though it has someone's arm in its jaws, it still does like the mwahaha thing where it just kind of half opens its mouth, very like Audrey too.
All right, I'm gonna ineffectually like kick it on its side.
You have weakened it. So unplugging it has weakened it. It just doesn't know it yet. So it is now a 16. Felix, it is your turn.
I'm wondering what would me trying to like pull Ace out of the monster's grasp be a might check?
Yeah, because it's grappling. So yeah.
Okay, then I would not. I don't want to do that. I am going to
reach down and grab him by the soda cans that I'm trying to pull out.
I am going to continue targeting and shooting this man.
Great. Don't forget, in using a targeting, if you're using your Blade Blaster, because that's what you have right now, that the amplifier for the Blade Blaster is on, which should give you a shift up.
Right. Who has a okay.
Right, Jules? It's a shift up with the Blade Blaster does, because that's one of the things the Blue Ranger chose.
Yes. Anytime. Oh, I forgot when I went to stab that I got that. But yeah, we all get a shift up when using our Blade Blasters.
Such a nifty thing.
All Rangers are nifty in their own special way.
That is a 19.
That's a 19. What were you aiming for on...
I'm still going for those bright, beaming red eyes. I'm still going for those suckers.
You hit the other eye, but it just gives you that, like, weird Stephen King Deadlights thing, so now it's, like, 6 eyes, but they're all smaller. The Vendor monster is not pleased by this turn of events. Since you both have 14, I'm going to have Leo go next, and then Ace is what I'm going to do.
I was on mute. Okay, so I'm going to try to shoot it with my blaster this time, I think.
Great.
What would that be? Where are you? I know this, but my brain's dumb today.
If you're kicking, it's might, because
no, I'm gonna shoot it this time.
Shooting is targeting. Most shooting is going to be targeting.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Submit. Do. Not a success because it's a 13, but still wasn't as bad as the last one.
It's true. The thing about it is that Ace, you can see this because you're right up close and personal, and your arm is still stuck in the machine. It is starting to kind of pop a little bit, which may or may not be ideal for you.
Okay, so she's gonna. That's it. That didn't go well.
It didn't go well, but it's getting better. Victory is within your grasp, hopefully.
You are finally within my grasp. Say,
yes.
That's an Ivan Ooze quote.
And Ace, it is your turn. I can't hear Ace if Ace has spoken to anyone else.
I have not. I have no idea what's going on.
Your arm is stuck.
My arm is
in
stuck
a vending machine.
So the Blue Ranger is giving an upshift on when we target, or just when we use our Blade Blasters in any fashion.
Any fashion.
Okay.
Because I gave you Blade Blasters instead of Blasters, which is what I had intended to do, but now you all get Blades.
So, since I'm right up next to him, I would like to pull out my blade blaster and put it against his air quotes face and pull the trigger.
Sure, great. I would like you to yes.
If I miss now, I'm hopeless.
I would like you to do this with an edge, actually, because you're so close. You're right up there. And you're not sacrificing your arm, but your arm is definitely inside of a monster still. So give me that with an edge.
Skill shift +1. 16, you said. Hey, I finally hit something.
That's great. So there are black sparks that fly off of the vendor monster. The vendor monster is not happy. As it is, Jules, it is your turn.
And give me my arm back.
Your arm is still stuck, by the way, because you haven't gotten out of the grapple yet, so you're just, like, hanging out in the machine.
I figured if I shot him in the face, he'd open his mouth, but...
I'm gonna try to stab it again.
Please do. Please do stab the vendor monster in the break room of Doomore. A 24 hits most things. Not only do you not hit Felix, you actually manage to hit in the space where the monster does let go of Ace's arm. And so, Ace, you're free, and you've done some damage, but now the monster is really unhappy, and for lack of better terminology, because your brain doesn't really know how to process this, it starts kind of jumping up and down, and there's the terrible sound of something far too heavy doing damage on tile floors. Now it's untethered from the wall, and its rage is unbridled, like the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And it is going to attempt, Jules, to target you with a... what kind of soda do you like? Do you like orange soda, Jules? It has to be generic, because that's what they stock here at the news stations. So.
No, she's not a fan of orange. She's probably more of just a regular, like, cola girl.
Okay, you're getting a Diet Cola. What is your targeting?
My targeting?
No, not your targeting. What is your toughness? I was hitting targeting while I said it.
13.
It's higher than a 4, I bet.
I got a 4, so it's probably higher than a 4.
Oh, good.
Or at least it should be. So, you, like, see the soda coming at you, and the thing must have just changed last minute, because you're pretty sure it was the diet button that was pressed, but you get, like, classic soda, but it's, good. Like, Kirkland brand classic soda, so as long as you're okay with that, like, bonus soda.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Link, sodas all around. It's not dead yet, but it's moving about the room now.
Vending machines aren't supposed to move. Get back in your spot.
It says, I will chew on you.
Yeah.
Also, what's with the terrible selection? What's the matter? No grape soda? And then he's going to kick it.
Please give me that might roll to kick with your unbridled rage against the vendor monster.
The vendor monster that does not have Link's flavor it.
Look, it's Action News. It's not like CNN. They can't afford fancy sodas.
Hey!
That's a 20. You actually kick it in the back, which is like the vulnerable part of the machine. And like Felix, you just watch like 3 sodas just fall out of it. And then the vendor monster moving forward to try to get to you, like, falls face first on the cans of soda that just spilled out. And now it's just, like, down on the ground. But it's still growling. It's still around, but it's not having a good time. And it's your turn.
Well, since it's on the ground, I'd like to do a really cool stabby move where I stab it in the back.
I think you should.
Cool. I'm using finesse for that, yeah?
Finesse for most stabbing things, including this.
I get a skill shift because Jules is the best. Oh, that's a 12.
You overshot it a little bit. You were trying to be really impressive, and you end up taking out like a toaster oven on the little shelf nearby. The toaster oven didn't do anything to anybody, man. It's just sitting there living its life.
This is what happens when you don't try to saucily stab it, you try to cool stab it.
You're right.
It's a good attempt. Leia! It could be you. You could end the madness.
I could. We'll see if I can. I'm gonna try to shoot it again. I am.
A 19.
That's a 19. You actually hit like where the plug meets the monster, and for some reason, hitting that so precisely, you just hear the sound of it. It starts laughing, and its laughter just kind of fades out until it's like just laying there still on the cold, hard ground, the tile floor of the break room, no longer of doom.
You know, so many flavors in that machine, and not a single grape soda flavor. That's disappointing. And shot me with root beer. Ew.
I prefer red pop. So.
All right.
What flavor's red?
The thing is that we've defeated
strawberry.
It.
Technically, although
red pop
strawberry.
is just red. Red is the flavor of red pop.
It is the flavor of red.
Yes, you did defeat it. Congratulations, one and all. Would you like to explore anything in the break room, or would you like to continue on in your quest for vengeance and justice?
I mean, if Ivan Ooze was here, because he turned it into a monster, we should look around.
Yes, I agree.
Is anybody looking at the machine still, or have you all kind of turned away?
Can I loot the body?
Well, there's soda in it, but you'd have to literally all work together to turn it over in order to get to where the soda is, because the back of it is like one giant piece of plastic, and now it's not a villain anymore, so stabbing it won't be... But while you're trying to loot the body, you do notice some of the kind of black ichor goo that you've seen in other villains pour off of it and then go down through the floor as you're trying to like fumble around and get a couple of sodas from beneath its exterior.
I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that.
Yep, it's so gross. I mean, at least it has cola. Something else to drink. Anybody want one? Like, Link is grabbing a couple of colas. They're probably shaken up, so we shouldn't open them right away.
Are the sodas also covered in, like, black ooze goo?
That's a good point.
No, but they are ice crispy cold, which is nice.
I would take one if it's not covered in ooze.
Cooler than being cool, ice cold.
All right. There are some Nutri-Grain bars on a little shelf and some fruit. If anybody is hungry, that will not give you more health. But no one is badly injured, so you don't need it at the moment. You actually can see out of a window into sort of the newsroom proper. So when you came in through the ceiling, you went down a little set of stairs and down the hallway where all the people were trapped in their offices. You came down another set of stairs. So from the break room, you can see what's called the Video Village, where you look at editing things. And then beyond that, you can see kind of the cameras that would usually have crew, and you can see the anchor kind of far away but close enough that you can get there without too much trouble. bent over the action news desk, like fainted, it looks like.
Is the anchor male or female? Is it are we able to tell from here?
They have short hair. If you have small tan roots, it's probably the male anchor.
Okay.
But
I was about to ask, is that I was going to say, is that local TV personality Tommy Dodd?
That is not local TV personality Tommy Dodd. Tommy Dodd was the first one evacuated out of the station. They need him for like grocery store openings.
Too important.
He's too important. He's down in like the shelter somewhere.
I'd like to try to help him. Or them.
Okay.
I guess I should just say them for right now, but I'd like to help them.
As you approach the desk, you realize that there's no other way to put this than to say this is like a person's torso attached to a chair. Not like bleeding, it's not like half of a body, but it's like...
So they're a chair tar?
They're fused?
They're yes, that is the thing that you say. They're fused. Would anyone like to give an alertness roll or science or anything like that? Anyone
Alertness
who has followed.
I'll do it for the lulls.
Alertness
I
has
have
I have a D4 to alertness, so
Can I use technology?
You can use technology.
Ooh,
It's a chair tar.
Is it morphing grid?
It is not morphing grid,
Okay.
but you can still use technology if you so wish.
oh my god, what the I forgot.
You're stunned, Leia. You're just stunned. You're just like all the visions of bad TV things you've seen have gone through your brain.
I rolled a 0 essentially. What on earth, y'all?
What am I
you're
looking
saving
for?
up all the good rolls. So the 7 doesn't give you anything. Jules, you've never actually seen this in practice before, but your dad had told you about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a robot, essentially. There's no better way to put it. It's almost like not quite a wind-up robot. It does have like it's going to have a panel probably on its back, but it is essentially a robot. And as someone if someone wants to start moving it upward, it looks human, but its eyes are closed, and it's like a human Teddy Ruxpin almost. It's like an advanced Teddy Ruxpin type technology. So it looks like if you look at it from the front, where you've got the desk, it looks like it's just like a dude sitting at a chair. But from the side or behind specifically, it's half a dude and half chair.
Interesting. I've never actually seen one of these before. That's really cool. And she's gonna
You've never seen a chair tar?
No,
This
I've
is
heard
what
of
this
it.
thing is from now on. It's a chair tar. Like, it's not a centaur. It's not a minotaur. It's a chair tar.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've just never seen one before. She's gonna go around the back and start inspecting it, and she's not gonna wind it up yet or turn it on yet, but you can tell she really wants to turn it on and mess with it.
Do it.
Okay.
I wonder if it reads stuff off of a teleprompter.
There's only one way to find out, and she's gonna turn it on.
It's got a
Alright.
cassette in the back that makes it say what it's going to say.
I was
That
gonna
would
ask
be
if there's a
fit.
cassette player in the back.
It's slightly more advanced than the cassette. This is the updated version of Teddy Ruxpin where it can actually take a CD instead of a cassette. As he kind of boots up, there's something oddly handsome about him, but it's so bland and inoffensive is that it's almost not handsome. It's just very uncanny valley. And then he starts speaking, and he sounds, as he looks, almost too average, just a little too uncanny, and you hear, "Hello, welcome to the Centurion Ridge Action News Desk. I am Roger, temporary AI assistant, filling in for the regular news anchor, Thomas Dodd. What do you need help with in rebooting your AI news anchor? Please state your issue clearly.
Link is going to look at Jules, like the helmet just kind of turns. So, Blue, what do we do?
Try to take over the world?
I thought that's what we do every night. And also, Pinky's supposed to ask that question.
No, saying it out loud. I feel like that's against the Ranger code.
Says the person who was going to blow up a building.
I still fully support that plan as well.
Ever saying that, but I still think it's a great idea. Whoever did say that.
Jules is going to try to like go through a menu and like see if there are like options for this thing or like.
The only menu you hit upon is like different settings. And so at one point, you make it like sing opera out of its mouth. But otherwise, it seems to be waiting for instruction or a question of some kind. It just seems to be, it's not even blinking.
So voice commands.
Yeah, it seems to be waiting for something, some sort of command. It's definitely more rudimentary than it looks on the outside.
Reboot.
It does consider the reboot request and goes, I'm sorry, reboot options blocked. Reboot options blocked. Reboot options blocked. See interior control panel, newsroom.
Jules is going to.
Where's the interior control panel?
I heard two things at once. What was Jules
Link.
saying?
No, go ahead with Link first.
Oh, now Link is actually asking the robot, where is the interior control room or control panel? I can't remember what she said now.
Interior control panel. Red light. Red light. Red light.
Okay. Jules is going to go look around for the control panel.
There is a red light on the opposite side of the video village, so it's kind of catty corner to where you are. And there is a room back there that is one wall of TVs one way, one wall of TVs another. One wall of TVs is blank, and one wall of them is completely static. At the moment, there are a couple of computers right now, but somebody's doing something to them remote, because there's a whole bunch of, you would expect to see a black with green lettering, like from the Matrix, but you actually see black with purple lettering.
Is there an actual like computer in there that Jules could try to block whatever is remotely controlling?
There's a computer. There is a mouse and a keyboard and a wheelie chair you can sit at. If you want to give me a roll of some kind,
okay,
we can find out what happens.
I'm gonna do a technology with computer specialization roll, if that's okay.
I think that's great. I think you should pursue this, and don't worry about it.
I got a 13.
You got a 13. So, have you always kind of fancied yourself like a hacker? Is this like something that you kind of always wanted to have like a nemesis at and get better at?
It's yes and no. It's more of she likes to know how to do things, and she likes technology, and she likes to learn how to do things with that.
Well, you've gotten someone's attention because now they're typing faster. So you didn't solve anything, but you do start to see a couple of the TVs glitch a little bit above your head. Like, you can't see exactly what's happening because you're looking down. But definitely, you did something, and you have someone's attention.
Never good.
Okay.
Does anyone did everyone go to the red light room? Did anyone stay with the anchor?
The anchor said newsroom.
I feel like,
when it was saying the control panel was in the newsroom.
Yes.
Is the newsroom where that red light is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Felix is as like everyone is kind of like talking to the handsome but very creepy chairman. Felix is heading over to the newsroom. All the purple is starting to freak him out. Booger breath might be around the corner.
Yeah. So the control panel is in the room. It's a little actual control panel. And when you open it up, there are a whole bunch of buttons and a couple of things you can turn on and off, it looks like, but there's no like schematic to tell you what any of them do.
Anybody more technologically savvy than me want to take a look at this thing over here?
Yeah, I have. I'm pretty techno savvy. I can help.
I can hit buttons.
I don't really want to hit buttons. I feel like that might.
You could hit buttons. I mean, hitting buttons is always an option.
Are there any like big switch looking things?
I'm supposed to be good at technology, but apparently right now I'm not.
The problem with this is that you look at it and it's so regulation that it could really do anything. The problem is it doesn't have enough of a personality for you to even have something to like, yes, this is definitely going to do this if we do this. That's like, there's no like green ground wire if you were like disarming a bomb or something, you know.
Hey, Mr. Robot Person.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
With Chairman or no?
Yeah, you could totally. He's just there, not blinking, sitting up now, and waiting for questions and/or instructions.
Where is your user manual?
So he will go. User manual acquired, encrypted.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, I'm at the control panel. What do I do now to help reboot you?
Reboot. And the Roger stops for a moment, like he wants to say something, and then stumbles on his words. He goes, Reboot disrupted. Reboot disrupted. Jules, I want you to give me a technology roll again. That 10 did not go in your favor. Everyone give me an alertness roll with disadvantage. Alex, what did you end up doing? Are you just hanging out with your Furby?
I figured I would stay in the main room, just kind of standing guard since everybody is looking at stuff.
Give me an alertness roll then. No disadvantage. Or no snack, I'm sorry.
I am also with the robot in the main room, so
then also give me an alertness roll with no snack.
Are we being surprised? Because I cannot be surprised while I am conscious.
You are not being surprised.
Okay, just making sure.
Although you might be, but it's not like surprise.
Hooray.
So, this is fun. Great. So Jules, you don't see this. Felix, you just see something out of the corner of your eye that flickers. It's up to you whether you turn around or not. But over Jules's head, as Jules is trying to like decode to reboot this program, you see Ivan Ooze's face and hands kind of turn into like a static version of himself, just like above Jules's head. And
Ooh, can I like push her out of the way?
you can give me a.
I have fleet of foot. Movement increases by 10 feet while morphed.
It's not a big enough room for that, so it's not fleet of foot. Give me an infiltration roll.
Okay. $12.
12 is just enough. Jules, you were working at a computer, and then all of a sudden, the Pink Ranger is like pushing you away, and you're kind of both tumbling onto the floor at this point.
Hey, what are you doing? I was working.
Evil.
Honey, I'm home! As Jules, you look up and you see the face of Ivan Ooze as like a static version, like TV snow, and just these Ivan Ooze claws. Felix, you kind of see the room get larger, like it's changing a bit of the physics of the room itself as the back wall pushes back where that control panel is. And everyone heard Ivan say, "Honey, I'm home," but we're going to go to our 10-minute break and come back after that and see what everyone does with static Ivan Ooze in the building.
Gary.
All right, we have returned to your story, still in progress. I was very excited to create the idea of Ivan Ooze in the new century coming through a television, which is kind of a missed moment that they could have definitely done in the movie, but they did not. In any case, I'm going to have everyone roll a new initiative for me. You do have an option, again, to do the follow me to boost the Red Rangers initiative. But you do not have to do that unless you wish to do so. It is up to you.
I'll do that.
I will also opt in for follow me initiative.
Hooray.
Wait, what is
It's
it?
the bad guy. Let's get him. All right, so the way follow me works is for every person who opts in, I get a +1 to my initiative roll. Once my roll is complete, everybody else then who participated rolls a d4 and subtracts that from my result. Then that determines your initiative. So, for example, like last time I rolled a 17, you roll a d4, subtract that. That will give you either like a 16, a 15, a 14, or a 13.
You know what? I'll opt in, and I'll hope you don't roll a 4 and I roll a 4, because that means I don't go.
You would still go. It would just be like a 1. That's how it goes. So let's have Link. Let's have you do yours. Let's have you do yours first, Link.
All right. So I have at least Jules and Alex. Anyone else? Okay.
I also.
And
yeah.
Excellent.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yes. And Jules is probably still upset at you for knocking her like off of the chair, but yeah. Oh, 21. That's great.
Well, I haven't.
It's 25, actually, isn't it?
It's a 25. Yes, it doesn't give me the option to add the +4, so I have to add that.
Yeah.
So that means
I'm keeping it on a Google Doc so I remember everyone. So let's see.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Alex has a. So Alex will be 24. Felix will be 22. Felix and Leia will both be 22. Felix and Leia, give me a D6 roll, and we'll see who gets to go first. And then Jules has a 4, so you'll be 21.
Looks like Leia is the winner of the D6 roll-off.
Leia is the winner of the D6 roll-off, so Leia, you will go before. So I'll just make you 23. All right. Ivan did not roll well. Ivan got a 14 for their roll. They actually have a D6 in initiative, so it's kind of amazing their roll was that low. So actually, we're going to start first with Link. Link, you are, for all intents and purposes, we'll say you're prone, but you also don't have to move very much in order to look at the static Ivan Ooze kind of barreling down over you and Jules.
I was in the main room, actually.
Oh, I thought you were in the...
Yeah, I was still with the robot.
Okay.
No, it was Felix that...
Oh, Felix. Okay, so, yes. So, you hear... so, Link, you hear, honey, I'm home. And, well, you heard Ivan Ooze's voice. So, what would you like to do? I did not hear you if you were saying something.
No, sorry. Like I said, I'm off today. Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. Link still has to go. I can't hear them.
I honestly thought I had just like spaced, and I was like, oh shit, it's me. Oh fuck. Sorry. Oh, that's a lot.
Can you hear me?
There we
sorry.
go. I can hear you
Okay.
now. I couldn't
Sorry.
hear you.
My system froze up for some reason, so...
That's fine. Discord likes to. So you heard honey, I'm home. And...
Right.
Yes.
Can I see Ivan Ooze?
You will have to go around the corner, but it will not take all of your movement to get around the corner. And you will see a giant staticky Ivan Ooze with claw-like fingers.
Okay.
Coming out of a wall set. Very Freddy Krueger.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run into the room, grab the rolly chair off the ground, because I'm assuming it's on the ground, and swing the rolly chair at him and yell at the top of my lungs, your show's been canceled.
Great. That is an impromptu weapon, but because you are throwing it, I'm actually going to make it...
I'm trying to hit him with it like wrestling style.
That's fine, but it's not... I think I'm going to make it...
It's kind of hard to do with a rolly chair.
If you grab it by the chair part of the rolly chair, I'm going to have this be... I'm going to have this be a brawn roll, actually. Yeah, I'm going to be a brawn roll.
Never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and swing with my snag. It's going to be great.
No, it will be. It's all part of the story.
This is going to be great because I'm going to hit somebody else with the chair.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Felix, it never ends! Actually,
I'm going to spend a story point and re-roll that.
Okay, you could totally do that. Poor Felix, it's all coming down on your head.
You know what? I was waiting for that. I was like, I'm going to roll a 1. This is going to be terrible.
It's getting out of the way. It's good. It's good to get the rolls out of the way. A 9. So you don't hit Felix, but you don't get quite high enough to hit the claws. It's weird holding a rolly chair. Good impromptu weapon thought, but it did not work out in your favor. Somehow, Ivan is uglier in gray and fuzzy Snow White than he is in purple. And he still looks like he's dripping, which is kind of an magnificent, if not weird, feat. Ace, it is your turn. Things are afoot, or at least
things are afoot. So he watches his fearless leader swing and miss, just a bit outside. He sees digital Ivan Ooze. I was wondering if I could try to use persuasion to get him to leave them alone and come out into the main room where I am.
You can always use persuasion on a bad guy.
All right. So I will just kind of, hey, remember me from the first time? You know, I'm the only guy who bloodied your nose. So, and of course.
Interestingly enough, willpower for static Ivan Ooze, static TVUs is what I call them, is 12. So if you try that next round, you might actually get more of his. He kind of does look at you out of the corner of his eye, but he just thinks of himself as too important to consider someone that did damage last time. Leia, there's a giant man in the TV. It's everything you've ever dreamed of.
Oh yes, absolutely. I am going to shoot it in the face again. Try anyway.
Great. Please give me that targeting, and don't forget to do that with an upshift, because your Blue Ranger has amplified your Bleed Blaster.
Yep. Which is awesome. Do I know his difficulty? Am I allowed to know? Because, I mean, it's fine, because, like, I haven't been shifting it yet, so why start now?
It's 22.
Oh, boy.
My God.
Should be fun.
Yep.
Don't forget your shift up.
I did that, and I still...
Do you want to use a story point to reroll that, since you got a 1 on the D20?
Love that. That would be so great.
Yep, that's what you got the story points for. It's a new scene. If you haven't used one yet, you can totally use them.
Okay.
Don't hoard them. They're there to be used to make the experience of this game more fun for you.
Not.
You get
what
an
is
8.
happening?
But you don't shoot Felix, because that 3, I definitely would have had that aim toward Felix.
Poor guy.
But you see the room. Felix, speaking of which, you are kind of down on the floor with this giant Ivan Ooze looming after you. What would you like to do now?
Well, he has such a high toughness, and we are not doing well.
But you haven't been hit by friendly fire yet, so that's a banner day for you, really.
That is true. At this point, I'm going to go back to that control panel and just start pressing buttons.
Okay. Give me a technology roll. Let's see what you do.
I'm not going to do anything. Oh, I'm going to do nothing at all.
You don't know. You might do something spectacular. You got a 2. You turn off the computer that Jules was working at.
Oh, God.
But you did something. It's true.
What are you? First you knock me over, and then you mess up my computer? What are you even doing?
I mean, at least you
The
didn't force it to
static man
update.
was coming down to rip your head off. I saved you.
That's what you call it.
I'm trying to give him the chair, but it's not working. It works on TV.
Jules, it is your turn if you wish to seek either retribution or glory.
I would like to turn... oh, wait. Okay, so he turned the computer off, but Ivan is still there?
Yes, Ivan is still there.
Okay. Are all of the screens off when you turn the computer off, or
Just the computer.
just the computer? Okay. I would like to, and I'm not sure if I can do this, but I would like to maybe do a technology roll to see if I can figure out how to get Static Ivan out of here.
Give me a culture roll instead.
Oh. That did not go the way that I wanted it to.
I heard the disappointment in that. Oh.
There's
I got
a
a
specific
16.
reason I say. You got a 16.
Yeah.
So you haven't been a Power Ranger very long, but you have a lot of scientific and deductive reasoning in your brain. It's just what you do. Science tells you that Ivan is not a science person, so Ivan doesn't know he's necessarily breaking a rule of physics, or he does not care. With the 16, you have learned that maybe this isn't about the technology.
Awesome.
Very cryptic. That's probably not as helpful as I thought it was in my head.
Well, no, just Jules is very, very scientific, and that she's not happy with that answer.
I mean, there's other science things you can do in this room. There is a whole bunch of science in this room.
There is.
More or less.
Since I did the cultural, what else can I do for my turn? Anything, or?
Culture roll is a free action, essentially.
Okay.
So you can still move. You can still try to shoot Felix. You can try to shoot Ivan even. You know, I'm not going to limit your choices. So you still have, because it's not big enough that you getting up out of prone position is going to affect you moving unless you're going to run out of the building screaming. Which you can't do because the parking lot is locked, that you know of.
Well, since Felix is over there flipping buttons and turning things off, and since I I put a point in targeting.
Great! I'm happy to hear that. Are you going to be targeting Ivan Ooze?
I am.
Please give me that targeting roll.
I want to apologize in advance, Felix.
You know what the strategy should be is you should aim at Felix, and that way when you roll the 1, you hit Ivan Ooze.
I got a 10. See?
You got a 10.
I didn't hit anybody. It's fine.
You actually aim and you try to hit. You hit through Ivan. You actually destroy one of the TVs behind Ivan's hand.
Does he have a reaction to that at all?
He doesn't, but there is a momentary flicker of that particular hand, like it's readjusting.
Okay. I think we should destroy the monitors.
You're saying that as Ivan Ooze's claw hand reaches down and is attempting to grapple you, Jules.
Okay. It's a miss.
That's a 9, which is a miss, and makes me very sad. But you're now like the tips of the claws are just like right there, and even though he's not physically in the room, as far as you can tell, like it still feels like there should be a smell. So your nose is like making up a smell. It's very that. Link, it is your turn.
Awesome. I'm going to do a thing that I haven't used yet.
Great. What thing are you going to do?
I'm going to go ahead and use my free activation for Illuminate.
Great. Bueno.
Because Link has an idea. This is Static Ooze.
You are correct.
The blaster bolt went through Static Ooze, from my understanding, yes?
It did. You noticed that.
And it disrupted his hand, so that may mean that light disrupts Static Ooze. And I can shine like a bright light for 1 minute.
shine bright like a diamond.
It does also give you extra power when punching, if you wish to use it that way too.
Yeah, it makes me do energy damage whenever I do a physical attack.
Yes.
So he's gonna like put the like drop the chair, and he's going to like jump into the air and then attempt to kick Static Ivan Ooze in the chest.
Great. Give me that might roll, please. Because kicking is might.
Yeah, he's not even trying to be like fancy. He's just doing like a kick.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, so close.
How did you do?
I got a 21.
You got a 21. You were very close. What you learned become even if you didn't like land a hit, Ivan has recognized the illumination, but it doesn't seem to flicker anything like shooting through his hand did.
Oh, come on!
But you look really cool, and he knows that you're there. Ace, it's your turn.
Ace has realized that he is the worst Power Ranger ever. He has yet to succeed at anything.
That's very not true. You wouldn't be chosen a Power Ranger if you wrestled an octopus.
I needed a comic. Somebody needed to be comic relief. That's right. I am. Okay, so not sure if this is persuasion or not, but I would like to try to.
You could also try to intimidate Ivan Ooze. I mean, you have to persuade him. You can yell at him.
Yeah, well, that's not a skill though.
No, intimidation.
It is. I don't have it. So yeah, I don't have it. So yeah, never mind. I was.
You can always try to persuade him. It's a free action, so even if you fail, you can still do something else.
I just don't have any skills that are applicable to what I want to do.
What do you want to do?
I was going to try to infuriate him, hopefully to, give him a snag or something when he attacks the next person. That way, we're not getting beaten to the ground.
Why don't you try that persuasion? His social is only a 12, so you have a pretty good chance of at least getting his attention. And yeah, that using smarts or social to break down willpower or cleverness is pretty handy. So
hey, I finally rolled higher than a 10.
That is a 19. You now have Ivan Ooze's full attention, and he does move his hand away. He moves both his hands, both of his claws, like he can't move yet, but he's like more your direction, and the claw that was getting close to Jules is now away from Jules.
Quick, flank him.
Would you like to attempt to punch or shoot or do anything?
I believe I'm in the other room because I stayed in the main room.
Well, if you're using your blaster portion of your Billy Blaster has enough range that you can do it from where you are.
Okay, so if I need a 22, there's no way I can do it. I'd have to roll a 20 and a 2, so there's no way I can do it. So
okay, it's up to you. But you now have Ivan's attention. We'll see if anything comes of that. Leia, it is your turn.
Is there any way that I probably don't have any explosives on me, but like, would there be a way for me to like rig something to explode?
If you would like to MacGyver something up to make things explode,
You got a blade blaster.
you do have a blade blaster. There are wires all around. If you want to take a round just going around collecting things to make something,
Sure.
you totally can.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, I'll give you a round, and that'll be all of your your move, standard, and free action of making something potentially very amusing for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Felix, it's your turn.
Oh, is it? I want to keep like pressing buttons, but I feel like I'm probably not. I shouldn't be doing that.
I think you should.
Should press buttons saucily this time. You might get a better roll.
Okay, I'm going to saucily press buttons.
Maybe you should saucily press his buttons.
Yeah, I want to
infuriate him.
Buttons.
Please don't. That's not a bad idea.
But it gives you more time to build an explosive.
That's true. Okay, go ahead.
Oh God. Would it still be a science or technology, or what am I rolling for here?
It's going to be a technology roll, yes. This time, Kronk, you're going to pull the levers.
Pull the lever, Kronk!
That's a 1. Would you like to reroll that with a story point?
God.
Have you used a story point yet in this combat?
No, I only used a story point at the very beginning of this game when I rolled a 1 for initiative.
So as long as you have a story point, or if you run out of story points, one of your fellow rangers is willing to lend you one of theirs.
You know, you could always just take the 1 and get a story point.
You could do that too, or you could reroll.
Ooh, 15, boom, ha ha ha.
15. So you pull the levers. Alex, you turn your head more because you hear it behind you, but Felix has taken control, however he's done this, has taken control of the 2 television cameras in the front room. And now you've activated their wheels, so now they are on wheels. They were always on wheels, but you did the unlocking thing where that now you can move them around like little wheel features.
How does that help us?
You now have 2 cameras to throw in his way.
Can I control them from where I'm at, or are they just able to be controlled now?
You can control them from where you're at.
Oh, I did something. I've done something. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm moving stuff.
Maybe he's camera shy. Take his picture.
Okay.
It will take all of your movement to get them there because it's not necessarily something you're used to doing. So there is a bit of trial and error involved. But they will get there next round if you continue to move them.
Sure, I will move them.
All right. How exciting! Jules! Stuff is happening. Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Jules is gonna get up, and in response to Felix saying that he did something, she's gonna call out, I'll give you a pat on the back later, and then she's gonna start turning off the monitors. Because when the one was destroyed, it kind of flickered, so she's gonna try to turn off the monitors.
All right. I will say that if you try the first one you try to do it manually, there's enough of Ivan in kind of the claw that it pushes you a bit like a barrier, so you're actually going to have to do something with your power in order to get to the TVs to turn them off or break them.
I want to break them.
Okay. You can target. You can throw something. You can throw Felix. You can do whatever you'd like.
I'm gonna try to shoot it again. Which I
Great.
just realized I didn't give myself the shift up last time, but it's okay.
You should probably do that.
Yeah, I should probably do that. I got a 13 this time.
You got a 13. You
did.
hit 3 of the TVs, aiming for Ivan Ooze's eyeball, and his head does flicker slightly. He does not seem to be in pain, but, I mean, he's flickering, so, you know.
Is he
good.
constantly flickering now, or is it just like one flicker and then he's back?
It's a little bit of a flicker per TV,
Okay.
and he's a little less resolute as a result.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
the snow seems farther away.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Okay. Yeah.
He really didn't like that, so he's going to try to poke at you with his clawed hand. What is your toughness? Jules, what is your toughness?
It's 13. Oh, good. Okay.
That was a 6. Static TV Ooze is not doing as well as the Vendor Monster did, and that makes me sad. But what can you do? Just the way the dice roll. Link, it is your turn.
Excellent. All right. So Link is gonna look at Leia, since they're both right next to Static Ivan, and be like, "We should attack him at the same time." So what I would like to do is, I don't know if this would take my action, but I want to provide assistance to Leia and hopefully have Leia do the same. We basically attack at the same time to get the upshift that Aid another gives, if that's possible. Or I'll give it to Leia.
I would just say, because it doesn't require anything, if Leia wants to do it now for you and you attack, and then you can do it for Leia when Leia attacks. As far as I'm aware, Lend Assistance doesn't require you to actually give anything up, right? I don't think it does. Maybe? I can look at
I
this.
think you have to use an action to do something to give them.
Yeah.
Let me look at the Lend Assistance page. There are many pages in this book, just like in my house are many mansions. Here's Lend Assistance.
It's a standard action.
Yeah, it's a standard action. So, like, you still have a free action and you can still move. But yeah, if you want to do...
I'm gonna
standard action, and yeah.
I'm gonna do a Lend Assistance for Leia, since we both seem to be attacking. So essentially, it's the whole, like he said, flank him. So that's where Link is getting the idea. Yes, let's attack him at the same time.
So Leia, you're gonna get an edge on attack of however you wish to attack.
Yeah, because I have Brawl and I have Might and Finesse, so I can lend assistance with either.
So Ace is going to go, and then Leia, this edge can be for whatever you built to try to deal with Ivan.
Absolutely.
So Ace, it is your turn. You've been watching Leia scurry about the studio, taking things, and there are now little camera robots following into the room with the red light, and your little Furby is crying in distress from wherever you placed it in the room. Because Ace is still carrying their Furby, it's just slightly too big and living to be in morphin
It can't be part
space.
of my explosion?
No, it cannot be in front of your explosion. It's part of the team.
No.
I'm just going to run up and punch him.
Okay.
I can't do
Please
it.
go ahead.
Kinds.
Go ahead and give me that roll for the punching.
Hey, I got a 22, and it's a
That's-
critical success.
That's great. You actually, so what were you aiming for in the punch?
I really just wanted to get his attention to keep him from attacking everyone, and it didn't work. So Ace gets frustrated, just runs up and punches him in the side of the head.
So
I said, pay attention.
You don't have the same trouble with the barrier that Jules has. you're just either you got a head of steam or a headwind or something. You just like vault right there. You just pull back and just go bam, and there's sparks from the TVs as a couple of TVs just absolutely disintegrate through the righteous fist of the Black Ranger's justice. And that hand just kind of wiggles a bit, and however, the punch was mighty enough. Like, the hand is now constantly wiggling in and out of existence. It's just blinking in and out. Ivan is surprised by that. He did not expect that to happen. And there's like that cool shower spark from inside the TVs because it looks cool. And so, Leia, it's going to be your turn. What is your hope and goal with this pyrotechnic that you have jury-rigged up? If that is what you did jury-rig up. Like, did you try to make a flamethrower? Did you try to, like, make a taser?
Blow up. Something to blow up. I would like to blow off his hand.
Okay. So you can nest it inside of one of the broken TVs already. I'm going to give you that without having to roll infiltration. I'm going to have you roll me a D4 is what I'm going to have you roll me.
3.
You got a 3 in 3 rounds. That is going to go off. That is just the nature of how the fiber optic cables you got work and how they melt. So in 3 rounds, you know that's going to go off.
Do I need to roll anything else as far as like?
No, I'm doing this. There is a mechanic for bombs in the game, and basically the lend assistance edge, I cut that in half of what you would have had to roll. And so, yeah, that 3 is actually really good. You should probably let the other people know that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, y'all. No reason whatsoever at all, but maybe not go near that particular TV over there. Just thought. But it'd be a really good idea if you didn't do that, because I don't want to kill my people.
Yeah, Jules, it is your turn. Do you have any follow-up questions to being told don't go near the strange device that's now nestled in one of the TVs?
I do, but I feel like now's not the time to ask. Now's the time to move.
Okay.
So I'm going to move away from that.
So I am going to give you a choice as you're moving away from that. Do you want to try to take the currently off computer with you, or are you abandoning that computer altogether?
I want to take the computer, but I think we skipped Felix.
Did we skip Felix? No, Felix. Wait, did we skip Felix?
Aren't you before me?
I
thought I was last. I don't remember.
Okay. Anyways, okay. So you can think about it, Jules. We'll come back to you. We'll go to Felix the way that we should be doing.
Okay.
Because I didn't put people in descending order like it normally do. Felix, it's your turn. Do you have any questions about the thing Leia put into the TV?
I don't, but I do have these cameras now. And what can I do with these?
What would you like to attempt?
I have no idea. I just kind of was like rolling with my success.
Great. They are now, they have entered the room with you, so it's really up to you.
I don't have...
You can also leave them there for now and think about it and do something else. They are rigged to the control panel, not to your person necessarily, so.
Okay. Okay, I have a question. Was I controlling them from the control panel, or was I, like, physically moving them?
You were controlling them, so the levers at the control panel, you pressed a button that released their lock, and so the levers, you've actually been, like, moving levers, and they've been like moving with the levers. It was actually kind of funny because Alex watched them like Macarena around the room a little bit as you were attempting to figure out which direction they went in.
Okay, what can I use that? Like, what can I do with that? Or did you just
use Macarena as a verb?
Yes, to Macarena.
Okay.
It means it is to do the Macarena. I feel Macarena is better than to do the Macarena.
Heard it before.
I don't know. I'm going to
Ramming speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, geez. Is anybody near the TV that Leia put the explosive in?
Only currently Leia.
Oh, well then I don't want to do that then.
Because Leia has not had time to move yet.
Okay. Can I perhaps? There are other TVs behind him.
There are.
Kind of aiming for the TVs.
Several people have. There has been some success in aiming for the TVs.
Why would you tell me I could move the cameras if there wasn't a reason for me to do that? Because you like to distract us. Okay, I'm going to shoot the TVs.
Okay.
Not the one that has the bomb.
That's probably wise.
Oh, I didn't shift up. Damn.
Do you want to roll it again with the shift up?
Yeah, can I? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I'm gonna let that, because everyone's getting used to having the shift up. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Whoa, 27.
That is a 27. I am ecstatic about that 27. Aha, because static, he's made out of static. Never. So you aim really well. You actually aim for a TV on top, because you're going for like a forehead shot, and so you actually get a TV, and it creates like a cascade because a couple of them below have already been shot out. And so there's this really great domino effect of like half of the wall moves away, goes dark, and half of Ivan just like disappears as those TVs go dark. Ivan did not care for that at all. And I believe now it is Jules' turn.
Yeah, so Jules wants that computer, so she's gonna grab it and then leave, run out of the room with the computer.
Give me a brawn roll.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. I still got a 12. That's not as bad as I was expecting.
It's true. So it wasn't a high difficulty, but it is a desktop computer on a little cart thing, and so it was still kind of plugged in. And so you're trying to roll it out, and you stop, and you can't figure out why. And the 12 means you did not lose the computer as you realize that it is plugged in. If you wish to unplug it and move out of the room on your next turn with the computer, you totes can.
Isn't the bomb gonna go off before my turn?
No, it has 3 rounds, so it's not 3
okay.
people; it's 3 rounds.
Okay, then yeah, then that's what I would like to do.
Ivan's not having a good time. Ivan is going to attempt something that is going to leave them very vulnerable. And I'm going to see if they can actually do this. I'm going to roll this, and we'll see how it goes. And then I will narrate depending upon how this goes. Static TV Ooze is definitely not doing great, which is good for you. You all kind of see as Ooze tries to, like, reach out Ursula style and tries to, like, transfer energy into the cameras Felix has brought into the room, but they're either just far enough away or they can't make that same kind of connection in order to, like, give themselves wheels to get them out of the room. They were unable to do the thing they wanted to do. Good day for you, sad day for Ivan. Link, what would you like to do?
Apparently we have to, deal with, Ivan, keep him from getting away or getting to the bomb. And the only other person who seems to be actually attacking him directly is the Black Ranger. So, I'm going to go ahead and do the lend assistance again. This time I'm choosing the Black Ranger as my target.
All right, that's fair. It is, unless you have a free action you want to do where you want to move, it will be Ace's turn, unless you have...
I'm going to get closer to the door, but...
Okay, that's fair. It doesn't take... It's not as big a room as all that, so... actually, give me an alertness roll.
Okay. Alertness. $18.
18. You're not sure you actually see this, but out of the corner of your eye, it looks like the TVs that are blank on the opposite side of the room, the wall that Ivan pushed out with his presence, they turn on and it looks like it's on like this weird real estate channel. You're not sure, but you thought for a moment you saw your house?
No.
It was weird. It's weird.
No, not Link's mom's favorite 2-story bungalow.
You're not sure. You're actually not sure what you saw, even with that 18. But you're just like, it actually kind of stops you at the doorway. But Ace, it is your turn.
Using the assistance from the Red Ranger, Ace is going to attempt to pummel Ivan back closer to the bomb.
Please do that.
None of that. Did I get an edge? Okay, well, at least I tried.
The 15 is good enough that you get one or two of the TVs on the side, so like Ivan loses like a claw, like the pinky claw. So now he just looks silly. So there's at least that, you know.
Is that an ambitious mockery?
Something like that. Leia, it's your turn.
Can we skip my action, like while I'm waiting for the bomb to go off?
We can, but I want you to give me an alertness roll.
Okay. Can do. Mm-mm-mm-mm. $21.
To 21, you turn your head because you're like focused on the bomb, but you see a reflection in one of the remaining TVs. You turn your head because you notice that real estate channel and it's flipping through houses, and you're definitely sure that's the place you're staying. You're 95% sure that's in front of your house. Like that lawn flamingo on your next door neighbor's yard is just like at the barest angle of view, but that is definitely your house. And then it cycles it to another home. And that will be your turn as we wait for your explosive to go off. Felix, it's your turn.
Well, you know what? Shooting Ivan seemed to work very well for me last time. So I'm going to continue to do that because I think you bait and switched me with the TVs.
I
You
would-
made me
I
bring,
would
not the
never.
TVs, with the cameras. You made me bring them into the room so that he could take them over.
I would never do such a thing.
Sneak.
What kind
sneaky-
of GM do you think I am?
A sneaky one. A very sneaky, not nice one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never
Unbelievable.
nearly murdered your character in a podcast.
I trusted you.
Never done any psychological terror to you. Never sent you to the Shadow Zone.
Damn it. 12.
The 12. You do hit a TV. Unfortunately, Ivan wasn't depending on it so much, and so, like, it doesn't, like, lose a finger. But, there's that, which is super cool. I mean, it's every MTV kid's dream to, like, smash a TV, so that's kind of neat. Jules, it is your turn.
I would like to unplug the computer and then take it out this time.
That's perfectly fine. I will let you do that with your turn. Please give me an alertness roll as you roll out the computer.
Okay. Oh dear. I am so focused on unplugging this damn computer that I am not noticing anything else that's going on.
You may not notice that, but you kind of notice that the computer monitor goes on for a moment because you're carrying in such a way where you can see it. And did you ever play the old Oregon Trail games, like the 8-bit games?
Yeah.
For a moment, the TV computer monitor flickers to life before it flickers back to darkness, and it has the words "Home Sweet Home" on it, and then it goes away very briefly.
Not you died of dysentery?
Not You Died of Dysentery. That's a different game
I'm
altogether.
so old. That was the only game we could play in school on the computers.
Oh,
Yeah,
same.
so good.
Yeah.
We
All
did
right.
the math thing too. It was weird.
It is Ivan's turn. Ivan is just gonna try to go full ham on the Black Ranger, and he's gonna just send his claws like after you, as feeble as they are. He really wants to do some hurting on somebody today. Got a 16. What is your toughness?
16.
16. So for in so much as you weren't sure that there was actually like a physical presence of ooze, you kind of feel like you're being squished a little bit, like a tube of toothpaste, and you are grappled in the clutches of ooze, or half ooze, currently. We are getting to what would normally be time, but I would like to finish this battle if everyone is okay. We should be about 10-15 minutes away from the end of the episode.
He's going to wipe us all out that fast?
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
We have a bomb that's going to go off here shortly.
We do.
You've got one more. You got one more round for that. But Link, it is your turn.
All right. So I'm going to try and free our Black Ranger by...
How would you like to do this?
I'm going to attack the Ivan Ooze wrist for the claw that's like holding on to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I lend assistance to this? I have Caretaker, which grants an extra edge to lend assistance.
Great. So take 2 edges on punching or stabbing, however you were going for this wrist.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a punch.
2 edges with the might punch from a Red Ranger. I fear for Ivan.
Would that just be like a shift up of 2? Because I don't think there's like a way to do
Yeah,
it.
the lend assistance, I think, is supposed to provide a shift up normally.
Okay.
Well, no, it depends on if they have the skill. So if he has levels in the skill, he gives an automatic upshift of 1. But lend
And then
assistance gives an edge.
Huh.
So he could do both if he can do 2 things.
You can do 2 things. I think you should.
I will do the 2 things.
That's a
Damn.
21, which is not a failure. I don't know why it says that's a failure, because a 21 is not a failure.
Well, you said his toughness was a 22.
Yes, but he is severely weakened, so I'm going to say at that 21, you actually punch, and there is a barrier, but you get between the barrier with your fist enough that even though you don't do damage, you flicker out, like you break the connection from the TV with your physical presence. And so Ace was in the group of Ooze, and then is now no longer in the group.
I would like to spend a personal PowerPoint to actually use my Power Strike, which will give me 1 extra damage, so I actually do get to hurt him.
All right, you get to hurt him. I'm okay with that. Ivan Ooze does scowl and growl as you do a point of damage to Ooze. Ooze is not having a very good day at all.
And then I'm going to run out of the room because I don't know when the bomb's going to go off.
That's fair. So, Ace, you are technically freed from your grapple if you have anything that you wish to do.
Oh, is it my turn again?
It is your turn again.
Oh.
Link freed you, and you were right after Link, so yes.
Well, I still know the bomb is going to go off, so I am still going to attempt to just keep him here. Hopefully he'll be within range of the bomb.
Sure.
By attempting to pummel him again.
You get a 5. You kind of slip as you attempt to pummel. There's a lot of glass on the floor from these broken TVs. Well, it's not glass. It's more like plastic, but you kind of slip a little bit. And you actually end up not falling to prone, but it's like a very off-kilter kind of punch. Give me an alertness roll. How did you do?
I got a 2.
Okay.
So I don't see whatever it is coming.
You don't. Give me a second here. So you don't see that. You don't see the putties coming up behind you. No, it's not that kind of ranger. So, Leia, it's going to be your turn. Do you want to leave the room before it goes off? Do you want to stay?
I'm going to grab all my friends and pull them outside.
Okay, that's perfectly fair. Give me an alertness roll.
Cool. This is a really important one, and I'm going to fail it, I bet. Oh, boy.
13. As you're leaving the room, you see that real estate station again. Now there's like 2 or 3 TVs playing it in succession in the back. And that's definitely where you're staying. Like, that's the gnome from the person that lives on the other side that has that weird gnome where it's like the gnome butt leaning over in the garden. Okay. And it's just like, why? And it's like, no, that's definitely, those are your curtains up in that window up there. Like, that's your house. Definitely your house. Like, there's no mistaking it.
People to me anymore. Hopefully.
Felix, you have a move action since you use your standard to lend assistance. Are you just bolting out of the room?
I don't know if he even noticed that Leia put the bomb under that TV. He has such terrible alertness.
Well, give me an alertness roll and we'll see what you notice in the room.
I shouldn't have said that.
You can say all the things you want to. I'm just here hanging out with y'all, playing some Essence 20, brought to us lovingly by Renegade Game Studios.
I should not have said that. I got a 5 on that roll.
You got a 5. There's like a weird thing underneath the TV. It's whatever. There's some like real estate things happening in the back. It's whatever it is. It's fine. You're just hanging out. Jules, you are out of the room with your TV. There are plenty of outlets around if you want to plug in that computer again.
I am going to wait. I want to know what's going to happen with the bomb and with Ivan before I start messing with the computer.
Give me an alertness roll, please.
Of course. 17.
17. So you can still see the room, kind of, and that real estate channel, that's your house. That's being shown as it's flipping through the different houses. That's definitely like one of your parents bought one of those weird sky mall sculptures at some point. If they did, and they like put it out on the front lawn as kind of a joke.
Oh no, it's not like a joke. My mom just has terrible taste.
Yeah, so that's the statue your mom bought, and you know that because it doesn't exist anywhere else in Centurion Ridge. Like that is your Mobius strip statue thing that your mom bought off the Sky Mall.
Do I see? Are there any lights on in the house? Do I see my mom and dad? Does this?
It just looks like a static image, like somebody's trying to sell your house.
Oh.
But without any like numbers at the bottom of the screen indicating the worth of the house itself.
Interesting. Okay.
So with Ivan's last turn, they are not really going to notice the bomb, but Leia, I'm going to have you roll me. Give me a technology roll. With Edge, because this is something you specialize in.
Edge something while I'm rolling. Is it the last thing?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay. It's like going through the skill shifts and...
Yeah, I know. There's like, it's so many questions to answer all the time.
I know. 21.
21. So you know how fiber optic cables work? You actually managed it so it would bend inward. So instead of an explosion people expect with a bomb, it was actually an implosion. And anyone still...
Too soon.
Anyone still in the room actually notices this happen. This is really cool. So the TVs that got punched out are still there physically for the most part. And Ivan doesn't notice at first, but there is this really great color of like orange, yellow brilliance that starts to create some sort of like pipe dream effect. And just like Ivan kind of crackles in and out of existence, and he can just feel it. And he just kind of looks at who's ever in the room and he says, "This is not over. But don't worry, Rangers. I'll be in touch. Another day. I hope you all have loved ones to protect." And then the TVs all kind of go out from the implosion at the same time. And Ivan disappears, but Ivan's voice cackles. And if you haven't noticed yet, the TV with the real estate station doesn't go off, but now it's just cycling between 5 different homes. And it's all of your homes where your loved ones live. Jules, you will be able, I'm not going to make you roll for this because now we're done with combat. You will be able to reboot the news anchor TV station. You get the sense it behooves you to get out of there before too many questions are asked about what you did in the room. Because, you know, there's going to be questions about the impromptu firework existing in one of their TVs. So it's... You get things rebooted, that's enough. There, if you try to call home, there is no there's no one answering at your homes. For anyone that tries to call that got through earlier at all, now you don't even get like a signal to the specific place you're trying to call. And that is where we will end this episode of Power Rangers Centurion Ridge. And next episode, the bridges will be clear enough that you all will be able to head to respective homes in whatever manner you wish. So there'll be time at the beginning of the episode for you to discuss how you want to do that. But Ivan has pretty much, in no uncertain terms, told you what they're up to next. They're very cocky, so they have no problem with that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you're tuning in, watching us on YouTube, thank you for watching this episode. It will exist in perpetuity as long as YouTube exists, so maybe like another 5 years. Thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Rangers, for being here. I hope everyone had a great time battling the Vendor monster in Ivan Ooze, static version. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Power Rangers Centurion. As Zordon and Alpha 5 like to say, may the power protect you.